What's going on, guys? Dan from SSG bringing you another Edison format deck profile. This time I am with my boy Sam. He already brought one sick deck to the channel, so might as well bring another one. What are you playing today, Sam?
I'm playing SAMUFO.
What does that mean? What is SAMUFO?
So it's Sam and then UFO, Paul Clark special, SAMUFO.
Okay, let's see what you got.
So basically, I like the Gemini deck and I like Lone Fire Blossom. So what I wanted to do is kind of just take both decks and streamline it and make it as good as possible. Don't really like the Gemini deck because it plays a ton of bricks. So I just wanted to get to Gigaplant as fast as possible. That's the only way that deck normally wins. So let's just get into it here. 2 Lone Fire, main card of the deck, 2 Gigaplants, Nettles, Titanium. So what you do, you want to just set up a board of Titanium, Gigaplants, stop all the targeting effects. Nettles lets you go into level 8s. And then you set up a board, say, where they have to out your entire board every turn, or your Gigaplant gets everything back. 3 UFO Turtle. The namesake of the deck, SAMUFO.
SAMUFO? UFO Turtle?
Yeah, so UFO Turtle grabs the Lone Fire, of course. So even if they just crash in your UFO Turtle and you end on this, you can set up a board, you sack this, get Gigaplant, normal summon it for turn, get it back, and then you can either go into a level 8 Synchro with Nettles, or you go into this. If you have Supervise or Ultimate Offering, which you'll see later on, you can go and do like an insane combo, which is almost impossible to out most of the time. But the other cool thing about UFO Turtle, which makes it so good in the deck, is you play 1 Blazing Butterfly. It's another Gemini effect. What it does is when it's normal summoned, has the normal summon effect, you can tribute summon it to return a Gemini from your graveyard, aka Gigaplant, with its effect activated. So, if they already outed your board, you can float into the butterfly, normal summon it for turn, get the Gigaplant back with the effect, and that can go right into, either a level 8 Synchro or a Titanium. The normal Gemini deck doesn't play main deck Titanium, which is another thing I really wanted to abuse in this deck, which, against decks like Frogs, you can just set up an unbeatable board most of the time. Other monsters, it's really light monster package. 1 Mystic Tomato and 1 Sangan. Randomly can come up, but Mystic Tomato is a plant, so you can go into a level 6 Synchro if they do something like Sangan, or not Sangan, Spear Reaper that you can't out. You can go into Bryanak. But the main reason why it's in there is you can float into Sangan, and it's another way to find your Lone Fire. So it also is really good if you open Gigaplant to float into Sangan, and then you can tribute and find the Lone Fire. If you have Supervise, that's another way to backdoor into the combo. Last monsters, just random stuff. 1 Grammel, really broken with the Ultimate Offering because first, it outs almost every monster in the format by itself. Against Raikou decks, Raikou's really annoying, honestly, for this deck because of the floaters. They can just kill it. So you can bounce it every turn, but if you have Ultimate Offering, they can't attack you because, if they would attack, you bounce, you pay 500 to put it back in the board.
Ensnaring Bridge.
Ensnaring Bridge, yeah. If you play Magic, it's an Ensnaring Bridge effect. So it just does a lot for the deck. You can out basically everything and can buy you a lot of time. So sometimes you're just setting up early to find your combos. So it gives you some time. Last card, Morphing Jar. Insanely OP in the deck. You play a lot of ways to get it off. And then again, also with Ultimate Offering. So kind of wanted to maximize the cards that were good with Ultimate Offering that were not terrible by themselves. Again, to compare it to the Gemini deck, they play a lot of cards that are really bad if you don't have Supervise or Ultimate Offering. So I kind of want to minimize that. Whereas if you have Ultimate Offering and don't have Lone Fire access, you can go end of battle, set this, and then on your turn flip it up for a huge plus.
After setting a bunch of cards, I presume, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Basically, anytime that situation happens, you probably win the game. So that's it for monsters, just 14. Going to spells here. 3 F-star, 2 gold star. You just want to be consistent. You don't really care. You can OTK pretty easily in this deck, actually, if you open Ultimate Offering, but you'd much rather see your combo pieces than, care about the life points. Gold Sark, there is a little bit of a conflict in this deck because you actually play Iron Wall, which I'll get into later on, but the theory is you just want to play turn 1. There's another White Defined Lone Fire, which is the most important card in the deck, but you could also find your other most important card, which is Supervise, which is super broken, or like a Heavy or a Giant Grenade. But
yeah, your deck has a lot of like 2-card combinations that just completely go off, and Sark can just find the missing piece while your traps just stall the time.
Exactly, yeah. Yep, so you want to play that just to, find your combos. Play the each of these. I mean, they're really good in the deck, of course. Giant Grenade is insane in this deck. It's honestly even better than Heavy Storm, I feel like, in this list, for reasons I'll get into later on. One reason being Morphing Jar. That happens a lot, where you can just, bounce their back arrow, flip Morphing Jar. Usually is game from there. This card's insane. We can go to combos later on, but the most simple combo is, you can do this in Gemini, but sack this, go into Gigaplant, get back this, and then either go into Titanial with 2 negates because you can sack this, it comes back off the Supervise effect, or you can go into Nettles and end on something like Stardust, and the Supervise effect activates and you get the Gigaplant back. Very hard to out that, so that's why I honestly sometimes would rather open Supervise than Ultimate Offering, even though Ultimate Offering is way better. But yeah, what it does, it just gives your Gemini the effect, and then when it goes to the graveyard, you can return a Gemini. Another thing I like to do in this deck is if late game, sometimes I'll just sandbag this, because then if you can get into Butterfly, it gives you an insane recovery turn, because you just click this, goes to the graveyard, get the Gigaplant back off this with the effect already activated, and then the Supervise comes back too. So you can like OTK out of nowhere just with this by like summon this, activate this, kick back Gigaplant, and then you can go into like Bryanak or something off this. And that right there is already like 4,700, or you can just get this back. There's a lot of combos. You can, figure it out on the fly. Go into traps. It's 11 spells. Triple Dust Tornado. You're playing a 2-card combo. Really, it's a 1-card combo. It's just Lone Fire, but of course, there's other ways you can extend the combo. So just wanted enough ways to out the Royal Prussians of the format, and also it's really good at playing around Heavy Storm, because you can, if you open both of these, keep this in hand, and you snipe their back row on a turn, set the Ultimate Offering. So it's just a good card. 2 Ultimate Offering, just unbelievably broken in this deck.
I think one of the busted cards in the format. The card's very strong.
Absolutely, yeah. If it resolves and then I went out, probably win the game. We can go over some combos later on, but the most obvious combo is just, even with just Lone Fire, you can go into Gigaplant. You can go to double Gigaplant, Titanial, or you can go into Gigaplant level 8. And if you have any other extenders, you can make an even crazier board than that. One other extender for the trap, at least, is called Haunted. Just another recovery tool. You can go flip this up, normal summon for turn, get back Titanial, restart the chain there. Just a good overall card. Card that's not really good in Edison format, but I think is actually really good in this deck. Another card that I was saying is good with Trunade is Venus Chain. One way they can out your board is just by plain attacking. So you want to, just protect your board. Have I do play this card, so I don't, want to play like Deep Prison or Bottomless. But even still, like there's not a lot of effect negation in Edison format in general. So, you can negate Black Rose Dragon, Dark Arm Dragon, Bryanak,
Caius,
that's a big one too. Yeah. So just anything that would be annoying towards your board, you just chain it. Another big reason though why it's in the deck as well is you can crash your guys. So like let's say they Caius you, flip up chain. Next turn, UFO tack into the Caius, for example, and then you have the combo from there.
So you protect the set UFO turtle from Caius, and then you go into your turn with UFO turtle in play and a normal summon.
Exactly.
Which is what you can just basically do like whatever you want, I would imagine.
Exactly, yeah. And that with no extender is a Titanial Gigaplant or level 8 Synchro, or it just depends on what your hand is, but even just Gigaplant plus Titanial is really good against most decks. Double Iron Wall. I don't play any banishing cards except for the Gold Sark, so it's really good. Miracle Fusion, dead. Vayu, dead. Bottomless, dead. Deep Prison, dead. Dark Arm can't use the effect. Caius can't use the effect. I mean, it's good against almost the entire format, and you get to main deck it.
When you explain this card to me as like an option to like hit the power cards out of a lot of decks like Miracle and Vayu, I was like, okay, like this has applications, but then you also are cutting off their defensive options against your combo, like Bottomless, like Deep Prison, and that just makes this card like a two-way killer. It can be a pseudo trap stun when you're going off, as well as like just stunning, like keeping you alive as well.
Exactly, yeah. That's why I think it's really good because that's offensive and defensive. Especially like you can make boards where you have like Stardust, Titanial, Iron Wall, and like Gigaplant, and that's basically impossible to out. Even just Stardust Iron Wall is insane. The best one to combo with it though is Brute Drago against most decks, which we'll just get into that later. But
they can't Caius it.
They can't Caius it. They can't Bottomless or anything. Last traps are just obvious ones. Mirror Force Torrential, they're overpowered. Just to touch on the Torrential though, you can do some insane OTKs with Lone Fire because you can hold priority in this format. So you can summon, hold priority, activate the effect, Torrential, so you can wipe their board. And then if you have multiple supervises, or if you have Ultimate Offering, you can just OTK from there after wiping their board. So that's really good in the deck. Last two cards, Starlight Road, Judgment, just broken cards. You're playing a bunch of back row, so Road is good.
I heard you always draw the road.
I do always draw the road. It's weird. I'd much rather draw Lone Fire Supervise, but Road is a good card too. Get into the extra deck, 3 Brute Drago. There's another good card. Just to touch on the Iron Wall thing, when this dies, you get back a Gemini with the effect. So anytime they would Torrential you or Mirror Force you, you can just go into this. Really good against heroes, really good against Blackwing. You just keep floating into these and they can't really kill you. It's really good to crash into Collude effects, and it's good to crash into Absolute Zero. Go and kill the Absolute Zero, get this back, and you can go into another one. So you definitely want to play 3. Other synchros, it's mostly even levels because of Nettles. So Stardust, again, you can make some unbeatable boards where you have like Iron Wall, Stardust, like Titanials, so they can't banish, they can't destroy, they can't target.
I think you had like Brute Draco, double Stardust, Iron Wall against me one game, plus Titanial.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty good. Like,
yeah.
I don't even think you had Offering either. It was like just Supervised or something like that.
Just part of the unbeatable board setup. One simple combo, which you can do is if you end the turn, or if you start the turn, with a Lone Fire, like let's say they attack into your UFO Turtle, you can stack your Lone Fire into Gigaplants, clip supervise, get nettles, go into Stardust, supervise, bring back the Gigaplant, normal summon for turn, then go into Titanial. Then you have a destruction negate,
Targeting negate.
Targeting negate, yeah. And if you throw in the Iron Wall into the mix on that too, like they can't banish anything. So there's a lot of like.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of that, and there's no outs.
Yeah, yep, and especially against decks like Heroes, where they play a bunch of 1-for-1 removal and like frogs, basically nothing they can do.
And your stuff just floats, like the Draco or like supervise on a Gigaplant. Like even if they do have an answer, there are a few games I had an answer with like Dark Dust, and like the board just comes back. And in Edison, is hard to answer things in waves like that.
Exactly, yeah. Like if you have that, you can still have like one supervise on it. Like even if they out your board, your Gigaplant comes back and you can just do it all again the next turn. The other ones, just one of each of the level 8s.
Standard, I guess.
Standard, yeah. They do things in certain situations, but you don't really go into them that often. More even level monsters, just one of each. These are obvious visually in here because you really can't go into odd levels. I play one odd, which is this one, because you do have Lone Fire, so Lone Fire plus Nettles can technically go into this.
Much better really things to be doing, but it can come up, I guess.
Yeah. Never really comes up, but I guess it could. And then Armory Arm. You can theoretically do the combo if you have Morphing Jar on board. Basically never comes up, though. And then 2 of these, because you have plenty of extra deck space, which is only odds. Or only even, excuse me. Side deck, it's really a work in progress, but this is what I've played. 2 Cyber Dragon, good against decks that have high attack monsters you want to get over, like Heroes, Blackwings, Gladiator Beasts, etc., and obviously versus machines. The deck is very monsterly anyways too, so you want to have just more monsters game 2. So they usually bring in a lot of removal, so you can kind of just like, if they waste the bottoms on this, you're actually happy.
I was just gonna say that if they waste anything on that, like you just don't care at all.
Exactly, yeah. It's just like really, really good bait for that. Play 1 Phosphodina. It's pretty good, but it shuts off your entire deck as well. So you want it against like the Dragon Turbos and the Frogs of the world.
Have you ever just like Ultimate Offering stuck this at the end of your combo and just killed them? No gores or nothing?
I have not, no, because it just has never come up. But you can be pretty cute too, and you can on their battle phase set it off of Offering and flip it up and destroy all their special monsters, but it just hasn't really come up. I honestly don't really board it in that often, which is why I only played 1, because it shuts off your entire deck as well. 1 My Body, just a good card. Against Blackwings, for example, I cut the Iron Walls, so it's just like another effect that can stop Bottomless, Torrential, Icarus attack. Can stop Gemini Spark against Heroes.
All the interaction, yeah.
All the interaction, yeah. It's just a solid card. Stop Judgment Dragon, Black Rose, etc. This is a card I'm not completely sold on yet, but I play it mostly for Value Turbo because of Raikou, honestly. Raikou is kind of annoying for this deck because you don't really want to like waste a Titanial Tribute to negate it, or if they just like kill your turtle, it can be annoying. So if you're playing against like Value, for example, and you can just out their Raikous, they have to rely on like their arm wings to kill you, in which case you can start floating off your battle recruiters. 1 Soul Taker. This card's mostly for Banshee's Fiend. It's also good against Christia. But you can also just bring it in against Hero Beats. Blackwing is just like a way to clear the board. Messenger Piece. This card's sick. It's mostly for Hero Beats and Blackwing because all their monsters are generally bigger than 1500, and you can still these are 1400, so you can still crash. And it buys you a ton of time. Like if you don't have a way to really kill them, you can just sit on like Gigaplant, Titanial, or Stardust and a Messenger Piece, and then next turn, keep going with your combo and make it so it's actually unbeatable.
Some decks literally just can't attack under it at all. I would imagine, like Hero Beat. Like,
Exactly.
They can't attack.
Like because normally you can be kind of scared of like Ab Zero, like they just crash into your Stardust and they can wipe your board. But if you have like Messenger, Titanium, Gigaplant that can't actually like kill them, you can sit on this. It also just buys you time even if you don't have the combo up. So like they have to out it before they can start playing the game, and it'll probably buy you multiple turns. Then 2 Light Imprisoning Mirror. Just because there's plenty of side deck space, I'm kind of like pre-boarded for a lot of decks with like the main deck Iron Wall. And just really broken against the light decks, like Lightsworn. So my main deck was kind of weak anyways, Lightsworn, because I don't really care about Iron Wall. So I just wanted like 1 card that's really good against them. 2 Trap Zone, another card that's really good against Vayu and Blackwings, because deck Devastation Virus is a thing, and you will probably lose if they resolve it, so you want this card as another answer to it. It's also good against Icarus Attack, but it's also good against other trap decks, of course, so you can just flip this up and combo off without being worried about anything. Last 2 cards, Dust Shoot, Mind Crush, good against all of the monster-based decks. Dragon Turbo, Frogs. I mean, if you're going on the play against most decks, you bring this in. Just didn't really want it game 1 because it doesn't do anything for your game plan. Sucks if you draw it later on, and sucks if you go second most of the time. So just didn't want to have it game 1. That's the deck.
Thanks for sharing, Sam. You have a pretty good record with this deck. I know you didn't have a good weekend down here in Florida, but you were crushing everyone, and honestly, none of us. I don't even took a match off you at the house in testing, so I think this is a pretty sweet deck, and it's unique. I think it's, my opinion, the best take on the Gemini deck. It just feels like the traps are just better than like the random Gemini monsters you're forced to play in that deck.
Yeah.
So that is about it, guys. Without further ado, this is Dan V from SSG signing out.